What's poppin', bro? Welcome back. Long time no see, my amigo. It's Friday. We are back on track. We are back focused. I was lazy for the couple of days. That's why no videos came out, but that is finished. We are back on track. Let's fucking go, okay? Today we are going to discuss why stock market always grows, okay? Because as you know, in all of my videos, I'm constantly saying do not have fear of investing because stock market always goes up, always, okay? And today I want to describe you the reason behind that mentality, why stock market always grows and why is that going to help you to become better investors so that then at some point you can become just like those traders here on the trading floor on that picture that we have right now. Okay, let's go, bro. Let's go. I'm excited. Hopefully you as well. So who am I? My name is Yasha, as you know. Look, Yasha. And I help people increase their cash flow while reducing the risk. It's that simple. Okay, so now let's go straight into the topic. Okay, enough chit chatting. Let's go. So stock market. Okay. As you know, bro, I often say that stock market generally always goes up, which means that you don't have to have any fear of investing. You can just start investing, buy stocks, and then just eventually those stocks will go up. If you don't use the leverage, then you have nothing to fear about because stock market always goes up, okay? People are going to argue that the stock market growth is because of general economical growth or improved companies' business or whatever they are doing, you know, some magical forces behind the stock market suddenly bring more money into the stock market and then it just grows, okay? But I'm gonna show you that those magical forces are not actually magical. It's one simple reason that people don't tell you about, okay? Look, reason that they don't tell you about, okay? And that reason, those magical forces behind the stock market growth is actually inflation, bro, okay? Now, for inflation, I'm preparing another super in-depth video that is going to describe everything about it, okay? Because I know that when you are a beginner, especially if you are not that familiar with finances, inflation is something that you don't quite easily understand, just like I couldn't, but don't worry, we're gonna tackle that, okay? But basically what you need to know right now is that inflation basically means the following, okay? The prices are going to grow because there is just more money in the world. That's it. That's inflation. More money causes the prices to rise. That's it, you know. Back in the days, one Panini stickers, you know, when you were playing football and collecting those football stickers for the World Cup, those stickers were costing maybe 50 cents, but right now they're already 70 cents. That's inflation, because there was more money, so the prices went up. It's that simple, okay? Now, how it's gonna be even simpler for you to understand that is if we draw a supply and demand chart, okay? So basically, let me draw it. So we have here quantity, which means just how much things it is, okay? And then here we have the price. Oops, that P is fucking huge, but okay. Okay, so we have quantity and the price, okay? So now I'm gonna draw a supply zone, that's the supply line, okay? And then demand line, which is like this, okay? So basically we have the prices based on supply and demand, okay? Now let me explain you that. So why is Ferrari so expensive? Why is Ferrari so expensive is because the supply of Ferraris is right now here. It's very little, okay? You don't see massive produced Ferrari models, okay? Just like, for example, with BMW or Mercedes or Kia or Hyundai, you see them everywhere, okay? But you don't see Ferraris everywhere. Why? Because Ferrari is only going to produce 100 cars per year, but Hyundai is going to produce 1 million cars, okay? That's why supply, basically the quantity of Ferraris is very low, as you can see right now here. But because of that, the price is extremely high, okay? Because there is only 100 Ferraris per year in the world, okay? That's why the price is very high. That's it, okay? But if we take that very same concept and then apply it to the money, we have to change demand with value, okay? So instead of demand, we are going to use the value, okay? And I'm gonna delete that demand. So basically now what does that mean, bro? I'm gonna use the green pen to draw the money, okay? So what does that mean? Look, let's just think logically, okay? The more supply of money we have, okay? Look, here is the supply of money, the less value it has, okay? As you can see here, the more money we have, the less value it has. And today also, the more money that we have in the world, the less value it has. And then because it has less value, we need to kind of balance that lost value with higher prices, okay? So basically what happens is the following. We have a high supply of money, so the value will go down, okay? But then what we do, we increase the price, okay? And then the value is going to go up. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically inflation. This is why we have inflation. So now you are asking yourself, okay, but how does that now apply to the stock market? How is that connected with the stock market? This is now where the trick and where that mind-blowing fact is going to just open your brain, literally, okay? So inflation and the stock market. Look, as we know, bro, inflation means high prices because of new money. So how does government create new money? Literally by printing it. That's it. Like they literally turn on the printer and they start to print money, okay? And because they print so much money, the supply increases, you see, because of printing, because you print paper, and because of the increased supply, the demand decreases, okay? That's it, bro. That's it. They literally print money. And because of that newly printed money, people have technically more money. They have literally more paper. And then they invest that new paper on the stock market. So basically, inflation brings newly printed money on the stock market, okay? So right now we have old money that was over there on the stock market before they printed new money, and then they printed new money and investors invested that new printed money on the stock market. So now we have old money plus new printed money. And because of that, bro, we have the feeling that the stock market, sorry for that, bro, very unprofessional. So because of that, we have the feeling that the stock market is growing, okay? Technically it is growing, but I'm gonna show you one mind-blowing fact right fucking now, okay? Let's take a look, bro. Here I opened the chart of SP 500, okay, which is the index that everyone knows, okay? It's the top performing 500 companies on the stock market all together in one chart, okay? So as you can see, bro, here is yet another proof, okay, that the stock market always goes up. As you can see, in 2000 when I was born, stock market was valued at 1,500 euros, let's say, and right now we have how much? 6,000, okay? Stock market always goes up. But why is now inflation here important? So I'm gonna show you. Look, in 2000, when I was born, the stock market was valued at around 1,500 euros, okay? Now, if we use inflation calculator, okay? Inflation calculator, I'm gonna show you one fucking mind-blowing fact, okay? So I'm gonna put here 1,500 euros. It was in 2000, okay, when we were born. And now if we adapt those 1,500 euros to prices or to the value of money that was in May 2025, what are we gonna see? We're gonna see 2,800, okay? So actually, look, bro, the stock market in 2000 was worth 1,500 euros. But because of inflation, the stock market actually grew to 6,000 euros. But if we wouldn't have inflation, the actual price of the stock market should actually be 2,800 euros. You know what I'm saying? So the real value of the stock market is actually, if we take the prices of 2000, it's actually let's say 3,000 euros, 2,800, okay? So that's the actual value of the stock market right now. But because of inflation, bro, the price absolutely skyrocketed. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the stock market will always go up, because they keep printing new money, and then that new money is invested into the stock market, which just brings the price up. It skyrockets the price. You know what I'm saying? So the stock market is actually extremely overvalued. It's like a fucking balloon that is waiting to burst. Okay? This is the very same thing that happened in 2008, bro. It fucking went from, look, 1,500 all the way down to 800. Fucking, how much? 700 euros loss, bro. And then again, during coronavirus, look, from 3,300 all the way down to how much? 2,700, bro. 600 euros, paf, deleted. Then during war in Ukraine, bro, 4,500 all the way down to how much? 3,700, almost 1,000 euros drop. Puff, you know? But it kept pushing forwards, bro. I mean, forward. Look, also let's go year to date, bro, where the tariffs were announced. 6,000 all the way down to 5,000. 1,000 euro drop. Puff. But what happened? It went back to fucking 6,000. You know what I'm saying? Because the prices are so inflated, because new money keeps coming into the stock market. So then if you buy one share for 100 euros with the old money, and then you have a new money, newly printed money with another 100 euros, you buy that same price, I mean same share with another 100. So you have two shares actually with the newly created money. Out of nothing you got additional share, because they just printed that new fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely mind fucking blowing, bro. So now you are wondering, okay, Yasha, if we live in a overly inflated stock market environment, what will happen in the future? Fucking nothing, bro. The stock market will drop, you are going to buy cheap stocks, and then it will go up. That's fucking it. Because you have to think the following, bro. Even though this bubble might burst at some point, even though this fucking overinflated bubble might explode, the bankers have money inside the stock market. So the bankers will say, okay, we need to solve this bubble somehow, so let's just print new money, let's bring the price up. That's it. That's it, bro. The stock market will collapse at some point. But until that point, bro, you just have to play with the banks. The banks are investing huge amounts of money into the stock market, and they are bringing the price up because of so much money. You know what I'm saying? The bankers will not hurt themselves. They will not accept one policy that will hurt their profits. And then when you have that in mind, you start to realize fucking stock market game is rigged. It's rigged against normal people. But that's why we have to understand how the big banks are playing, what they are doing, and that they would never hurt their profits. And then when you start to realize that, you see, okay, the stock market will collapse, but then it will go up again, because the banks, the fucking governments are just gonna print more money, which is gonna have the feeling of economical growth, and then that feeling of economical growth is going to drive the price of the stock market up, and everyone will make profit again. That's it, bro. That's it. Tariffs as well, bro. Those fucking tariffs, okay? Let's open the chart. Tariffs, okay? Those tariffs were just the cash grab, bro. Like Donald Trump said, I'm gonna introduce tariffs 100% for every fucking country in the world. And what was he thinking? Stock market will fucking plummet, okay? Stock market went down, and then he said, suddenly no tariffs anymore. No more 100% tariffs, but 20%. Only 20, fucking discount. And then stock market, bam, went up. You see what I'm saying? The game is fucking rigged, okay? So you need to start understanding that the bankers and the presidents and fucking governments, they will not hurt their feet. They don't want lose profit, okay? So they will do anything to keep the profit going. That's it, bro. That's fucking it. So Inflation brings the stock market price up, and it always will. It's that simple. Now, bro, if you want to double your monthly cash flow while you reduce the risk, okay, and you are also independent from those fucking stock market movements up and down, and if you want to also use other people's money to make your own money, bro, then click the first link in description, go to my website and book a free meeting with me here by clicking on the start button. I'm gonna show you some very amazing strategies that helped me accumulate enough money to be able to quit my work and then just focus on my own business, on my own entrepreneurial way, and just basically living the life that I actually want to live, okay? So bro, see you soon, take care and have a good one. See you on top of the world, champion.